Okay, so today we have the pleasure of being at High Desert Station with Randy and Bree from McCallum Quarter Horses. So we're really excited today because they're going to kind of take us through the progression of different horses at each stage, working towards being a finished ranch versatility horse. So where I'm like a less polished trainer, I really like connecting with people like this that really kind of dial stuff in, because I grew up on ranch horses that weren't really that broke, and so to come and see what Randy and Bree do and train here is a real pleasure for us. So let's roll.
In our program here at McCallum Quarter Horses, we start our horses in the round pen, and we usually use a lunge line. We got this horse in about 3 weeks ago. He belongs to some friends of mine. We brought him up here to condition and get him sold. His mother is a Hanoverian, and his dad is a Royal Smooth Cat, which is a cow horse. So Bree's going to go ahead and lope him real quick. And as you can see, he's coming along pretty good in the 3 weeks that we've had him. And what we're asking for is the walk, trot, and lope both ways on the line. And then when we do that, then we go to the driving stage. So right now she'll stop him. She'll reverse him, and when he has all this down and he has this foundation, then we'll move to the next stage. As she goes into the lope, this way they learn their leads and they learn what we're asking them to do. So we're going to finish up with this one and we'll go to the next. So now we're at the second stage of our program, and this is the driving, and I like to do the driving so that they learn how to handle their bit. They walk, trot, lope, turn, stop, back. So what we're going to do is Bree's going to ask this horse to trot. You can see how he just kind of wants to carry his head naturally. We don't tie his head down. I'm a big believer in letting the horse have its head where it needs to be, where it naturally is. So we don't use any tie downs or martingales or any of those things. We practice by using our hands and being soft. We like our horses soft in the face, and this helps it. So what we're going to do now is ask him to lope. And then that way we can work on their leads. As you see, this horse is traveling very good and he's quiet, so he's not too far away. By next week, we'll probably be on him and starting to ride him. Going to bring him down to the trot, and then to the walk, and then to the stop. So we can do that all on the lines. This horse is a 3-year-old. He's a grandson of Metallic Cat out of a Colonel Freckles mare. We bought this horse from Gary Stark. He's a couple of years ago as a youngster, and he's really proven to be an excellent horse. He's super quiet. He's got a real pretty gait and transition. He's easy to get along with. So now we're going back to the lope, to the trot, and then we're going to ask him to stop and back. And then now we will go to the third segment. Okay, now we're at the third stage, and this is a young horse. He's 3 years old that has just come off the drive lines, and the first thing we get him to do is do some bending. So we're going to do a little bit of the bending to the left. Then we're going to move our leg and move him to the right. And then we'll do that for a while and get him soft. So when we first get on, we'll do that until he has that down. We might only do that for a week or so and not even ask him for anything else. And when he gets soft doing that, then we'll go into the trot. So using both legs, she uses to ask him to go into the trot. Also, when we're bending, I like my horse to follow my leg. So if If I'm putting my right leg on, I want that horse to have his head a little bit to the right. And if I have my left leg on, I want that horse to have his head a little bit to the left. I also, as you can see, Bree's riding, I also want to keep their rib cage up. It's important to, and that keeps them from getting sore in the back, and it helps them to travel. As you can see, this horse is traveling nicely. Bree's going to ask the horse to lope. He's new with his leads, so there he goes. Really nice transition. The horse is loping nicely. He's got some cadence. He's guiding willfully as she asks him. She's using her left hand and her right leg, and she's going to come up and just stop him. She's going to ask him to back using her legs. As you can see, when she uses her legs at the stop, he's lifting up his legs and not dragging the dirt behind him when he's backing. And we're just going to ask him to go right into the lope using the left leg. There he goes. Nice transition. So as we're loping, and we're going to ask him to trot, we're going to try not to use too much hand, and she's going to ask him to go into an extended posting trot. There. So when they don't, like right there, we never get after them. We try never to get after our horses. We try just to reiterate and continue to have positive, so that we're positive when they're moving instead of getting after them and grabbing a hold of them and making them back off. So she's going to put that horse real quick back into the lope again. And then she's going to go ahead, because he wanted to lope in the trot, she's going to ask him to jog, trot again. There he goes. Now he's a lot quieter, and he's followed through for what we want. She's going to go down to the walk. As you can see, his transitions were great for no more time that he has. This horse is a very nice horse. He started a little bit. He had about 10 days on him when we got him, and he's turned into a super nice horse. And now we're going to move to phase 4. So before we start into the 4th segment, we're going to show you a little bit on this horse, how we've got him to do some turning around. So what we're doing is she's going to bring him around, bring his head around, and just kind of hold him and trap him into the bit a little bit. Then she's going to counterbend him a little bit. Counterbend him around there. And at there, see how he steps over? We want to counterbend him, and then he's stepping over, steps over. Now she's going to relax and put him back into the inside. There she goes. She traps him into that bit and pushes him into the bit. When he gets soft, she's going to start to let go, and then she's going to pick up that outside rein and let him turn. So then she's going to push him out and just let him go forward. We try to go slow so that we make sure that everything we do is correct. So we're going to go around and go the other way. We're lucky that this horse is real soft, and he picks up on things really easily. It's easy for him to cross over in the front. So now we're going to go to the counterbend. You always want to keep these horses in a forward motion. You never want them to get, if they get to go to sucking back, you want to push them forward. Now she's going to go to the inside. She's going to let go of his face a little bit, let his nose go, push him forward, push forward, forward. And then she's going to just let him kind of find himself and ask him to do a turnaround to the left. There you go, good. Now you're just going to use your leg and ask him to make it, there, nice, nice. Doesn't have to do a whole bunch. She's going to send him back out. There, and that's all we're going to ask him for today. So in this phase, we're at the finish stage. We're going to do some lead changes for you. So we're going to ask this horse. This is a horse that we got quite a few years ago that is was a burnout reiner and kind of had a long history, and we've made him into a versatility horse, which he absolutely loves. He loves all the different events that the versatility horses do. So what she's going to do, and this is how we start changing our horses, how we do our lead changes, is we go from corner to corner. We at home we never change in the center. So she's going to leave this corner over here, and she's going to go to the other corner, and when she gets down there, she's going to canter that corner. That's the first thing we do, and we're going to stick his hip out and make him go on around. As you can see, the horse has no different in his gait, in his cantering through there. He's very collected and moving forward with cadence. And as she comes through and finishes up her X, she'll come and do a change through this next piece. The biggest thing is getting that hip over and getting that horse to get his hip up behind himself. So she's going to push, 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 and then she's going to ask him to change. As you see, she got a really nice change there. We never change in the same place. We always want to change in different places because we don't want them to anticipate our changes. So as she comes through again, we're just going to have him go ahead and change. As she's loping that circle, you never want to just change and change and change. You always want to make sure you do a circle or go somewhere else. And now she's going to come through that and change in that X. She's going to make a change. She's going to, and there you go. See, that change was pretty and quiet. And that's what we're looking for in our changes in our versatility. You don't want the hop, you want a quiet, slow change. So let's see him do a turnaround. Drop him way down. Do you want to do that?
Hey, we hope you guys enjoyed watching some of these horses get worked out here at High Desert Station in Star, Idaho. Ranch versatility is a really cool event. It's kind of an everyman sport, right? I mean, a lot of other events really cater to a certain income bracket. They cater to a certain type of individual, but you'll see all kinds of people in ranch versatility. And there's a lot of different kinds of horses that can make it in ranch versatility, right? They don't just have to be a cutter or just a reiner. Like, you kind of want a real well-rounded horse, and that's what I think is cool about the event. So if you guys if anybody wants to get into it, great contacts out at High Desert Station with Randy and Bree Charter. Bree's one of the lead trainers here. So if you want to get into it, call you.
Us.
Cool. Adios.